Hold on. Oh,
I didn't want you to see. Okay, ready? Okay, wait, hold on. Hey guys, it's me and Carly.
I have a weird stomach thing that makes a weird noise that goes like, and in 6th grade, my stomach made the loudest noise where the whole class heard it, like 27 kids, and I blamed it on the girl in front of me. And I have to defriend her after this. And everyone thought it was her, and everyone made fun of her for years, and I never owned up to it.
Something I'm genuinely ashamed of is I still believe that my life would be better if I was thinner.
So at a picnic several years ago, I had my very first pot brownie while I was already intoxicated from what I'm not entirely sure was from a mysterious cocktail, and I freaked out and thought I was having a heart attack and dying in the middle of the park. And so my friend had to call an ambulance for me, and when the paramedics arrived, realized that I was just drunk and high, and they just kind of dismissed me and said, just go home.
Okay, when I was a child, I was a very persistent bedwetter. I went to bed every night. My parents tried everything. I had to wear pull-ups. My mom told me they weren't diapers, but they were for like a while into elementary school. And the only thing that finally broke me of the habit was my mom bought me a device that I pinned onto my shirt, and there was a wire cord that connected to, was basically a maxi pad that I put in my underpants. So when I started to pee myself, an alarm would sound from the box and would wake you up. And it did work, except one time in middle school, years after not peeing the bed for a long time, I peed the bed at a sleepover, and that's it.
When I was in college, I was a musical theater major, and we would have to do this like song class where we had to sing in front of each other and analyze like what we were doing. And so there was a song that was kind of political and kind of like about the army and stuff, and they asked like how I related to it and like how I interpreted everything, and I was just like, well, I was pretty political in high school. I would go to like all of these like rallies and protests and things. I would grow up in Berkeley, California, and so I was like, that's like how I relate to this. And then they were like, okay, great, well let's put it in context. Like, let's talk about World War I, which the song was about. Who was the big bad guy in World War I? And I was just like, I don't fucking know, because I did not study very well in history class, and I was so ashamed to have just like touted my like politicalness and then been like, I don't know my fucking history. And now every time when I hear Whitney Houston's Your Love Is My Love, and she sings about if we should wake up in World War III, I get so ashamed of that moment.
I am ashamed of losing a lot of weight and having people be really proud of me, but then like gaining it all back. It happens like every season or so. I gain weight in winter, then I lose it for the summer, and then I get all happy and I eat more food. It's a really crazy cycle, but I'm ashamed of that actually. And I'm also, it's weird, I'm never ashamed to be seen with my family, but if I'm ever in a mall or a crowded place and I'm by myself and I end up with another black family that's like a bigger people, I'm like, I don't want everyone else to think that we're all family. I just happen to be in the clump of other like big black people. They're not like my family.
So I grew up in California, and my parents were like total hippies, and I guess they didn't believe in this kind of thing, so we never went to Disneyland or Disney World or any of that stuff. And so whenever any of my friends, and actually kind of to this day, anytime anybody brings up like, oh my god, have you been on like, I can't even fucking name any of them because I haven't been there, but like Magic Mountain or whatever, any of those rides, I'm like, yeah, cool. And I just kind of like have this like weird, take this like back seat in the conversation and sort of act a little bit like I've gone, but don't say anything specific enough to give away that I totally haven't been.
When I had first broken up with my first boyfriend, it was my first breakup, so it was the hardest breakup ever. And we had a mutual good friend, and I would always hang out with her. And maybe a couple months after I had broken up with this guy, I started hooking up with my best friend's boyfriend for like 2 months. I went over his house almost every night. And then I got back with my ex-boyfriend, and we all hung out together, the four of us. And she asked me, like, long after, and they were together, and I was together with my ex-boyfriend, and she was like, can you just tell me the truth? Like, did you guys ever, like, hook up? Was there anything weird between you? And I said no. And this was 8 years ago, and she like has asked me that in the recent years, and I've still said no.
I really like picking my nose. I feel like everyone really likes picking their nose, but they won't admit to it. Like, it's something shameful. You don't want to be like the nose picker. But I will tell you, I enjoy picking my nose at like all different stages of wellness. Like, I like being like kind of sick. I like being like kind of ill, like, but like from like a dusty apartment and being like, oh my god, the treasures that await me. And I like being like cold sick and then inspecting the tissue, being like, is that orange? Is that red? What is that weird green color? What's coming out of me? I'm an artist.
Okay, so it's something I've never told anyone before, but from when I was very, very young, I want to say 2-3 years old, well, maybe from when I was a baby, until I was 12 or 13 years old, I used to shit my pants a lot. And I couldn't help it. I had like no control over it, and it got to the point that I was constantly the smelly kid in school because I would shit my pants all the time, and I would have to like hide it, and like my mom would find out, would freak out about it, or like my stepmom would find out, so I'd like throw my underwear out because I would shit my pants. So it took me a long time to get to the point where I stopped doing it, and I think it was a weird kind of like way to like release stress or something, like from being like upset when I was a kid. So I would crap and I would feel better, and then it would just fucking be there until I took a shower. That's my shameful story.
Hello? Come on, next person.